You there! This is Dave and Jason.
Hey!
From DC On Screen. It's that time again. We need help from you to grow our show. But keep listening because there's something in it for you. Give us a 5-star written review on iTunes for a chance to win a free DC trade paperback, DVD, or Blu-ray valued at $15 or less. 1 in 10 will win. The winner will be randomly selected with a number generator on random.org and announced on one of our news episodes. It's pretty simple, really.
Free stuff!
Hooray! Anyway, yeah, seriously, do that. It helps us a lot. It's, like, so good. Anyway, sit back, enjoy this brand new episode of DC On Screen. Welcome into DC On Screen, your guide to the DC Universe properties on film and television. I'm your host, David Z. Roberson. This is my co-host, Jason Goss.
Hello.
This is episode 207. We are recording on September 19th, which means that Adam West is 88 today. Jeremy Irons turned 68. Our good buddy, Jacob Rasberry, 32, over on the Screensplosion podcast. As a gift to him, go check out their podcast. Jada Pinkett turned 45 this week. And that's all the birthdays that I know about.
Because we did not do exhaustive research on every single character.
That's right. Oh, man. How's your week been, buddy?
Oh, hanging in there.
Hanging in there.
It's the last week of no TV. That the time is over. By the time this is aired, I'll already have DVR'd and gone back for Gotham and Lucifer.
As we're recording, our little DVRs are just plowing away.
Just plowing away. Doing their work. Doing honest work.
The Lord's work, some might say.
Mm-hmm. Except they're recording Lucifer in a few minutes. Which, who knows in that universe? By the time they're done.
Lucifer universe is a little wonky.
It's hopefully it'll get a little more wonkier than it has been. Actually, I could go for more wonky. Oh, we got plenty of time to make fun of Lucifer.
I could go. I could go for anything, just anything the hell else.
Anything the hell else. Hashtag anything the hell else.
Yeah. So
Oh, and by the way,
sure
I think those are still going to be available on Hulu day after, right? It's just the CW that's popping over. I think the Gotham stuff and Lucifer stuff will still be available. So
yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So, as everyone who listens to this show knows, we promote tolerance in the DC Marvel communities.
Mm-hmm.
I was happy to see this. James Gunn was talking about the Marvel DC debate. He says, I just don't find any room in my headspace for thinking my movies are superior or inferior to anyone else's. I really just think about how can I make, for instance, right now, how can I make Guardians Volume 2 the greatest spectacle film of all time? Mm-hmm. That's all I care about. So that's what I concentrate on. I don't really think about Marvel versus DC. And also, anytime a Marvel movie comes out that isn't as good as I wished it was, or anytime a DC movie comes out that isn't as I wished it was, I'm disappointed because I love these characters. I grew up reading Marvel and DC comics. I want them all to be good. Going along with that, someone made a coexist sign on Twitter with comic logos.
I have seen that. That's not just on Twitter. I saw that on a bumper sticker, and I waited around for a couple minutes to see who it was so I could congratulate them on their amazingness. I didn't. Eventually, I had to carry about with my day, but if that person had walked out right then, they would have gotten a handshake from me.
Absolutely.
That's a real bumper sticker.
Now, what was on Twitter is Patty Jenkins responded to it and said, "This is great. Wish there was a W in coexist, though." And James Gunn responded to her and said, "That would be nice. For the sake of harmony, let's change it to coexist. Can't wait to see your movie." Patty says,
I really don't know how to get that in, yeah.
Yeah. Patty says back, haha, that's great. Coexisting is the best. Thank you, James. So enjoyed Guardians and can't wait for the next.
Yeah.
See, people, that's how it's done. See, David Ayer, you don't have to apologize for that shit the next day.
No. Look, there's a spider hand in there. That could be a girl spider hand. That could be Spider-Woman.
But not Wonder Woman.
There's even a Green Lantern. That doesn't have to be a guy's fist. There's Jade out there hanging around.
What's the matter if it's a man or a woman? I'm talking about Wonder Woman. That's what Patty Jenkins was talking about, because she's directing Wonder Woman.
Right, of course. So
anyway, going along with the Marvel versus DC stuff, Captain America Civil War Honest trailer came out.
Uh-huh. It was fantastic.
Yeah, it was just kind of like they've been listening to us.
Mm-hmm. And then went on to make a bunch of better points.
Right. But it's really funny. I enjoyed the hell out of it.
It's really good.
They kind of point out how the Captain America Civil War is very close to Batman v Superman in a lot of plot points.
Yeah. It keeps pointing out plot points, and then it culminates in saying, "It's like, so they basically made the same movie." Oh crap! Yeah.
Show that airport scene again.
Yeah, show the airport scene. Yeah, I enjoyed that. I mean, and it does, like, they take it's like some sad guy takes a symbol of hope and then does a shot of Superman and Captain America and faces him off with a billionaire.
Yep.
Oh crap! Show the airport again.
I think the thing that I laughed at the most was the superhero versus movie everyone loved. Something about this, how it was better than the superhero, the one that everyone loved instead of the one that everyone hated, but that no one wants to admit is oddly alike or something.
Oddly similar. Something like that.
Oddly similar.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
It's fun.
I didn't take notes.
We're badly pitching lines from something that was done well and professionally, but yeah, go find their thing.
Nah, go find their thing.
Go find where they did it better.
Yeah. Popping over to Batman v Superman. Some quick bits here. They released what they're calling a closer look at the Cyborg and Flash outfit from Batman v Superman.
Mm-hmm.
This is the Flash outfit from when he talks to Bruce from the future, which is awesome because I've been waiting to look at this thing.
Mm-hmm.
And am kind of confused that it just kind of looks like an Ultron bot. But hey, man, it still looks pretty cool.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about it, but it's got a little Ultron to it. I looked. The first thing I thought about when I looked at it was like I rechecked the link to make sure I'd clicked the right thing because it looked like Injustice 2 costumes come to life.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
And that's not a bad thing. Injustice 2 looks BA, right? But oh come on, that thing looks fantastic. I want that
Injustice. Yeah, well, the new Injustice looks better than I think the original did. Like, some of their outfits were a little too mech for me, but...
I mean, yeah, but apparently you don't have... If I'm understanding the gameplay right, you don't have to mech them up. You can, like... Mm-hmm. I think you can power them up without actually having to armor them.
Right, I'm not talking about that. I got that. But
okay.
I'm talking about the first game. They were, like, a little too mech for me.
On
the first game.
Oh, is that why you so giddily downloaded all the skins?
Absolutely, I want the classic outfits.
I'm going to make them all black as night. Everyone looks good now.
No, I want all
Tourist Joker.
That was fun. They also released...
Is that the green arrow? Is that the actual... Is that Stephen Amell's voice? Like, we're doing that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry, Alan Tudyk. We love you too, but this is kind of a treat.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
So they also released some concept art by Ed Natividad.
Sure.
Fingers crossed. Who did the concept art on Justice League and Suicide Squad as well. Mm-hmm. They put out some BVS concept art of the Batwing, the Batcave, and pieces of the Batmobile. It's fantastic. It was also those same pictures were published in the official companion books, The Art of the Film, and Tech Manual. So yay! Nothing you haven't seen really, but pretty art. So Suicide Squad. Yeah. No, what were you saying? What were you going to say?
I that's exactly what when I see concept art sometimes, I'm like, oh, that's pretty, but that's really all I can muster. Oh.
Yeah, I just don't know what to do.
It's the only times it becomes like a big thing is when something's already come out, gone over poorly. You see the concept art, and then you sit there and go, "Who screwed over this artist? He had the vision.
Right.
This man had it. Why did we mess with him?"
I think they represented it well in the movie, though.
Yeah, it looked good.
Suicide Squad. They have, they're like almost 719 million worldwide. They have they've passed a number of Marvel movies, which is apparently a very big deal.
Mm-hmm.
I did enjoy Forbes referring to it as Suicide Squad being leggier than Captain America.
I didn't know leggier was a concept.
I didn't either.
And I read the article, which, by the way, is full of like barely covered backhands to the movie and the DCEU in general.
Mm-hmm.
If the writer was trying to cover that up, he really should have been edited further. But it's Forbes, so good luck getting anything edited. You hacky pop-up site, you.
Oh no, they like every contributor on Forbes, they say, like, they have their own opinion, it's their opinion, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, no, but it's basically an op-ed piece with ads. So I've found some genuinely good stuff. Like, this was a fun article because it gave me, like, a new perspective on so-called legginess. But it's almost an accident sometimes when you get stuff off that site. It's about up there with The Guardian,
usually,
as far as how well it's vetted.
Yeah, usually I stick with Mark Hughes on Forbes.
See, I'm sure there are exceptions to this, where there are people who probably put in the time. And this one, like the legginess, if I can explain legginess and see if I have this correct, Dave, isn't so much. It's not about quality at all. It's about quantity. So, how long did the movie continue being a movie that people were spending their money on?
Yes.
Not, was the movie good? Oh, it's got legs as a concept. Because we use that phrase sometimes. Like, oh, man, that idea's got legs. No. They mean, how long did it make me money?
Right.
And they were even juxtaposing that to like the huge drop-off. It was like a 60% drop-off on weekend 2 or something. Just huge. And everyone thought, oh, the world's ending. Suicide Squad will be dead in 3 weeks. No, it had not gone apoptic. It was like everyone in the world wanted to see this movie on weekend 1. So it's an effect that I don't think has enough accounting for in the statistics here. Everyone who wanted to see it got their ass out and saw it concept.
I mean, it's continuing to make money, make good money. Is up to $718.8 million at the global box office. Winter Soldier only had $714.4. But yeah, Suicide Squad has now passed Iron Man 2, both Thor movies, The Incredible Hulk, Ant-Man. It's done very well.
Yeah, it's doing fine.
And the big breakout star.
Remind me, did it ever get aired in China, or was that?
Nope.
It was certainly going to be banned in China.
Yeah, it never came out in China.
All of those movies, I'm pretty sure did air in China. So they're doing all this with one giant hand tied behind their back.
Mm-hmm. Well, about $100 million worth of hand tied behind their back anyway.
That's a heck of a hand.
That's a heck of a hand.
I mean, someone can have mine for $100 million. I'm putting that offer out right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's a standing offer.
And a lot of even the detractors are focusing on this, but the breakout star was Margot Robbie, and she might be the reason that the movie's doing so well.
They're also, I think it was the same Forbes article that pulled out all of Will Smith's statistics, and this is one of the best movies financially he's ever made, and it's Will Smith.
Definitely.
Like Men in Black and Independence Day are numbers happening here for him.
Yeah.
Men in Black, the original, mind you.
Right. I need to go back and watch those.
It's probably a lot of fun.
I remember Men in Black 3 being really good recently. Or good enough.
I remember Tony Shalhoub being in there somewhere. Was Tony Shalhoub in there somewhere?
Yeah. He was the alien that they always go interrogate.
Oh, okay.
They shoot him in the head, and he has a tiny little head, and it grows back.
Oh, that's right.
You have any idea how much that stings?
That's right. The only scene I remember needing to tell is the shooting range where he fires at the little girl, and they ask him, why did you shoot at the little girl? I was like, she's got, like, quantum physics, but she's 7. That's weird.
Oh, do you ever see Stark Raving Mad?
No. I remember that being out there, and I think I watched. It's a TV show, right?
Yeah, it was a fantastic sitcom, laugh track, multi-camera sitcom back in the day when those were the big thing.
Standard.
Tony Shalhoub, pre-Monk Tony Shalhoub, I believe, even
before he was weighed down with all those Emmys. His spine hurts now.
And it was one of my favorite shows when I was a kid. It only lasted like 22 episodes or something. There's still like finished episodes in the can that no one's ever seen before because they won't release it on DVD.
Yeah.
But it was Tony Shalhoub and Neil Patrick Harris.
I remember it being out there, and I think I caught one or two.
Fantastic. Like, they have all 22 of those released episodes on YouTube, and I've watched probably 5 or 6 of them. They hold up, man. It's like he's a horror writer who's trying to get his groove back, trying to write his next thing, and Neil Patrick Harris is his like editor trying to get him to write, and it's pretty phenomenal and ridiculous. NPH is all like OCD and hates germs and all sorts of like, I don't know. It's pretty great. Yeah. Anyway,
the Odd Couple dynamic.
A little bit, but better.
And don't say done better than the original.
Not done better than the original. Well, which original? Are you talking about the TV show, or the original TV show, or the movies?
No,
the play.
The TV show. The movie's fine, but the TV show I consider the OG of the
definitely, definitely better than the '80s Odd Couple or the current Matthew Perry Odd Couple.
Right. It pains me to say that because I
Anyway.
love Perry and Thomas Lennon. But
Yeah.
anyway, that's
God, I had high hopes for that show.
That's a different show.
Yeah.
Back to capes.
So Margot Robbie. Margot Robbie has signed her first look deal on a Suicide Squad spinoff. She's apparently got 2 films in development with Lucky Chap Entertainment. That's her banner. She's got a movie that Lucky Chap is doing called Terminal coming up, and then they've also got the Tanya Harding biopic I, Tanya, which sounds awful. Mm-hmm. Why would you even make a biopic about Tanya Harding? Who wants to remember her?
I thought they did that already. Was it just a documentary?
They probably did. Yeah.
I mean, I remember seeing pieces of this somewhere on like a random Sunday afternoon and thinking, wow, this got crazy real fast.
Here's the thing. Like, Margot Robbie is playing Tanya Harding. You're going to have to ugly her up or something. Like, I don't know. I can't imagine it. It's just weird. Anyway.
That's going to be a weird film.
That's going to be really weird. Are they trying to, like, paint Tanya Harding as, like, a Harley Quinn type character now? Not saying that Margot can only play Harley Quinn type characters. Obviously, she can do whatever the hell she wants.
It's just...
It just seems like it's thematically, you can imagine a Harley Quinn sicking somebody with a pipe or whatever the hell it was on somebody's knee. I don't
know what. Yeah, I mean, did they just watch the film and go, well, she bludgeons people?
Yeah,
we should totally cast her as Tanya Harding. We had this whole thing in the pipeline. Get it?
I guess.
Pipeline.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it was a crowbar. I don't know.
I forget what it was. Fit. I actually think it was a baseball bat, but it's a really old memory. It's like 20 years ago.
Yeah. Who's thinking about this?
And it wasn't even her. I think she hired somebody.
Yeah.
God, it's been a while. That was a messed up story. Who the hell is going to be the protagonist in this thing? Like, who's the guy we're rooting for?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even remember the person she assaulted. Nancy Kerrigan? Is that right?
Yeah, Nancy Kerrigan.
Oh my gosh! That's dating me.
Like that's one of those.
Look how old I am, kids.
Like anyone born in the '80s, you remember a couple of names. Like Nancy Kerrigan is attached to Tanya Harding. Bill Clinton's attached to Monica Lewinsky. Like you can't forget certain things.
Carrie Strug is attached to Al my ankle.
Oh, 80s. I don't miss you at all.
That's the 90s.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
So much layover.
What? You think everything is in the 80s.
Everything I don't like, I just assume was in the 80s.
Yeah. Anyway, they're also developing an adaptation of Bad Monkeys, which is a novel by Matt Ruff. But yeah, so it looks like she's going to get the first look on a Suicide Squad spinoff, and she's going to be executive producing. Looks like she's also going to be doing an adaptation of Dean N. Jensen's Queen of the Air, and she's attached to star in that as well. So I don't know if it's going to be a Harley spinoff or like the other DC heroines like they were talking about. But there you go. That's happening. Over to Justice League. Dude, Zack Snyder released a picture of the Batman tactical suit. He tweets, homestretch, last day filming Batman in the new tactical bat suit. Hashtag Justice League, hashtag Batman. What do you think of this thing? A lot of people online are complaining, saying it looks a lot like Night Owl from The Watchmen. It does kind of look like Watchmen's Night Owl, but I ain't complaining.
My first question is, why is that a bad thing?
Yeah, I don't know. And it doesn't completely look like that. I mean,
no, I know exactly what they're seeing. It's the cut of those ears. I get it. Mm-hmm. It's the eyes are a little farther back. I get that. Mm-hmm. And then the way the cape goes over the top of the bottom of the deltoid, top of the shoulder kind of area. It's exact. I swear it's exactly the same angle. Like if I lined these three things up on paper, I totally get you.
Yeah.
But who cares, man?
Yeah, it's got a little bit of Batman by Gaslight in there for me. I see a couple of different looks. It looks a little Tim Saley to me in the ears. But, this is a debate that's been going on all over Twitter. People have been, putting up different drawings of Batman. Batman's been interpreted so many different ways over the years that, yeah. The thing that scared me is at some point I was looking at it in preparation for this show, and I went, new tactical bat suit, and thought of George Clooney's silver bat suit, silver and blue bat suit, or purple bat suit, whatever it was. Mm-hmm. I'm colorblind there. In Batman and Robin, and just went, oh no, get that out of your head right now, please. No.
Undo it.
Not that it looks like it, but just the idea of there being a secondary tactical suit.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, no.
Yeah.
So Saturday was Batman Day. For the event, Zack Snyder put out 2 pictures. One of him standing in front of the bat signal, and one of Commissioner Gordon standing in front of the bat signal. That freaking Gordon bat signal picture is now like the lock screen wallpaper on my phone. It is the normal wallpaper on my phone. When I slide to new screens, it moves along with me so I can see the whole thing blowed up.
Of course.
And yes, I said blowed up because this picture's so pretty it makes me not know how to say words correctly.
Yeah, I understand. I mean, and man, I'm sure you've zoomed into him a million times by now. That is one Gordon-looking motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, damn, dude. Looks good in his little stash. Glasses have it looks like the right size rim. I don't know how to describe. Like if it was too small or HRG'd or something, I feel like it would have stood out. I kind of saw from what I can see, and his face is tiny, I admit. But even the hat. This is like BTAS just ran out into the real world and tackled your phone, I guess.
Yeah. Is it weird that every time I see J.K. Simmons, I just want to hug him?
No, it's not. He's a fantastic actor, and he's giving you lots of joy in your life.
Quality. He's got a quality, though. He's got a quality to him where he just seems like a burly bear of a man who gives a great hug.
No, I do.
Make you feel okay.
Completely suspect that he is an amazing grandfather. I don't know if he actually has grandkids, but if he doesn't, I feel like someone's missing out. Does that seem right?
It does.
Just feels grandfatherly.
It does. So Ray Fisher on Instagram put out a picture of himself jacked to hell and back.
Oh God, yeah.
Half man, half machine.
That guy has more shoulder than I have bicep. I swear his neck could beat me in an arm wrestling contest. It's brutal.
Oh man. Okay. So, did you watch the 8-bit Justice League trailer I sent you? JoBlo released that.
I did. I kind of turned it on begrudgingly and thought, just a re-release of a trailer. And then I laughed about 5 seconds in. Thought, no, I was supposed to watch this. I was supposed to.
Yep.
It's great. It's, my favorite parts were when they turned on the Flash music in the background. I the whole time I'm loving the Icky Thump 8-bit. It was great. And then, and by the way, I noticed in the credits they didn't bother saying Icky Thump just in case, because it's different enough that if someone tried to sue him, they might actually not get prosecuted. But yeah, they go to the Flash theme music for a second, and then at the very end, I heard the music and went, wait, what is? Oh, you're kidding me! Yeah, they pull out the Justice League cartoon.
Yeah, I my heart beat a little faster when that happened. I was like, it was ridiculous.
Oh, it was fantastic.
Because something about it, because I think it was the Justice League Unlimited theme.
Yeah.
And something about that music lends itself to is it MIDI? Is that what it's called?
MIDI or MIDI or whatever you want to call it. Yeah.
Yeah. It lends itself to that really well. I can imagine that being like the startup music to a video game, an 8-bit video game.
Yeah. Yeah, it was good. And they did a good job with that. Like when you see Wonder Woman appear for the first time, you hear the player starting kind of association sound. It was they did a great job with that. I mean, even the first scene, Aquaman sliding, not walking, but sliding almost out of the background of those people where he's been conspicuously placed.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. What's the
so over to
the guy who does that? Was it JoBlo? I think JoBlo.com.
Yeah. So over to Man of Steel 2. We're about the same time last year we were talking about Man of Steel 2, and then that was squashed, and now we're back.
Yeah.
Apparently it has been confirmed though. Danny Garcia, Henry Cavill's agent. She also handles The Rock.
Yeah, that sounds.
She says,
right.
she says Henry has a big appetite. We've been a 5-month period of time where he's re-strategizing, acquiring property for his production company Promethean. He's filming Justice League now. He's in development for the Superman standalone. He's beginning to expand that world. It's beautifully teed up. In a year from now or 2 years from now, he's going to be a force globally.
Well, that's great manager speak.
Now, is it?
I'm rooting for it.
Is it bad that I heard all of that in Amy Sedaris' voice from BoJack Horseman?
It's not. It's not your fault either. It's because it's a great show. If you'd heard it as the turtle guy, whatever his name is, I would have understood that too.
Turtletop?
Turtletop, yeah. Or do the penguin, Patton Oswalt's penguin out of that. That would have been fun too.
Yeah. No, all I heard was Princess Carolyn.
I understand. Totally understand.
Anyway, so there was a rumor going around that the Joker was in the Justice League. Umberto Gonzalez says this is the scoop giver, the bringer of scoops.
The bringer of scoops.
They say.
Is he with again?
From Heroic Hollywood. Yeah. He says, sorry, DC fanboys, yesterday's rumor that surfaced about Jared Leto being in Justice League, unfortunately not true. He also had this to say about the Batman solo film. What scoop can I give you on Batman Day? The standalone Batman film does not take place entirely in Arkham with all the villains on the loose.
I mean, that's good and bad. So on the one hand, that's
down.
a whole other city to play with. On the other hand, part of me would just hope they'd do Arkham Asylum. Not the game. I want the Grant Morrison product.
I don't want either. If I'm going to have Jeff Johns and Ben Affleck actually writing a script for something, I want them to do their own thing. I don't want an adaptation of Arkham Asylum either one.
Yeah, I could dig that.
No.
I can. Those two should be able to come up with something interesting.
I don't necessarily have to have the Joker in Justice League. I don't care.
Well,
we were talking earlier. I thought Jared Leto was fine. I don't need to see him again ever.
Yeah, you were saying if this was the most you ever saw of him, that would be okay. I keep thinking that he's an itch that needs to be scratched. I want to know more about him. And I didn't get enough time with him, and that's not the more and more you hear about the deleted scenes and what was actually in him. I get how he didn't work in the flow of the movie, and I'm not holding it against David Ayer here or Warner Brothers, whoever actually made that call. But I want to know more about him. And
see, that's the thing. That's the weird thing for me. If I was told right now, you will never see any more Jared Leto's Joker aside from deleted scenes, I'd be like, all right, that's fine. If someone said to me, hey, Dave, they're going to do a Joker standalone movie, and he's going to be in the Batman movie, and he's going to be a major villain there. We're going to get all the flashbacks to the Jason Todd stuff and everything, and he's going to be in the Harley Quinn movie. I would be equally okay with that. I'd be like, yes, okay, that's
sure, it sounds great.
Cool. It's just I'm not pining over this version of the Joker.
No, well, to adopt the word pining for my purposes, here's how this works for me. I saw just enough of him that it's like, you ever eaten, just a dish that was any kind of food, someone put a plate of food in front of you that was completely foreign to you, you've never tasted any of the, absolutely a new entity, and you had the first bite and you couldn't tell how you felt about it, and you had to have a few more bites. I've got to have a few more bites. Mm-hmm. That's it. Right now, what happened was I had one bite and I was still thinking about it and kind of closing my eyes and thinking about, do I like this? And then I looked down, and the plate was fucking gone, and the waiter had come back with a bread roll and said, "Good luck."
Yeah. I guess I'm right now I'm having the same reaction I did with him that I did to Heath Ledger's Joker. I'm like, he did a good job. Wasn't my Joker, but he did a good job.
But, good take.
I could see more. Yeah, that was cool.
And it's entirely possible that I would have gotten, in my analogy, would have gotten to bite 3, because I've done this. I've done this with a couple of dishes, shawarma in particular. I tried it after the Avengers. Mm-hmm. And
of course you did.
I got to bite 3 or 4 and thought, no, really not my thing. Bite 1 was interesting. By bite 2, I had a suspicion. By bite 3, I was pretty sure. And by bite 4, I had confirmed. I don't like shawarma. Sorry. It's how it is. It's gone the other way, though. I mean, I won't bother naming some dish that I enjoyed, but for God's sake, we've all been there.
Right, of course. So, Zack Stentz has jumped into writing the Booster Gold script. He tweeted out today's writing inspiration courtesy of The Blackanese, which that's Derek A. Hughes, and the name cracks me up. Kudos, dude. Mm-hmm. And the Dan Jurgens, of course. Mm-hmm. So he did kind of hint at what version of Booster Gold he's going to be writing, because initially the character, Booster just wanted to become rich and famous. and so he went back in time and stopped crimes that he knew he already had the scoop on.
Yeah.
And but then when you get to the Giffen DeMatteis run, he's more into like the get rich quick schemes with Blue Beetle, which I think is my favorite version, or some combination of the two. What I didn't care for is they eventually made it to where he was a time master, and that he was just kind of secretly pretending to be this goofball who wanted to get rich and famous, but he was really like carting the timeline. To me, that just kind of, it's a cool thought, but I don't like that too much. I like Booster being who Booster was.
I do think it's a cool thought. I would actually like to see, here's something I've thought about since the Booster was announced. I would like to see the bidding war that goes on behind closed doors for who's going to be like the sponsorship on his costume.
Yeah.
Like I'd like our two Pepsi and Coke executives going to like physically slug it out because...
Dude, you have got to see Smallville.
Yet another conversation that ends with, dude, you've got to see Smallville.
No, I mean, they kind of do it, but it's like, it's just Booster shows up and he's like a race car driver. He's just got sponsors all over his outfit.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
Hey, but that's what I'm imagining is race car driver. I really am. Like,
yeah. That's how they played it too. Zack Stentz, though, also tweeted out, the coolest guy in the room is usually less interesting to write than the person who thinks he's the coolest guy in the room, which I feel like pretty much implies which version of the character we're getting, and I think I'm going to be happy.
That's fair.
And how do you read that? How do you read that line and not think of Nathan Fillion?
Oh, I know. Hammer, the whole thing. Like, Dr. Horrible basically was his audition for Booster Gold. And he passed.
Yeah. As far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
So, speaking of, dude, you've got to see Smallville. There was something weird that happened on Twitter earlier this week. Alan Ritchson, who played Aquaman, Arthur Curry on Smallville, was asked, so you're going to play Shazam, right? And he said, yep. We have no official word on this, but I mean, he, like I said, he played Aquaman in Smallville.
Yep.
He was Raphael in the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. He was in the Hunger Games, Catching Fire. So he's viable. He's there.
Yeah.
He can do it. And my lord, looking at the dude, if they dyed his hair black, he would look like Shazam.
There's nothing wrong with it. It's like the least enthusiastic announcement of a super character I've ever seen.
Well, I mean, we know the star of that movie is gonna be The Rock.
Here's my favorite part about The Rock being involved in a Shazam-based movie. The man has billed himself as being electrifying. Since day one, and this is where it got him. Like he's been foreshadowing this for decades.
Yeah.
Damn, he's gonna make a great Black Adam. Mm-hmm. Like I'm gonna have trouble not rooting for him. Actually. They're going to have, like, the writers are going to have that challenge. They're going to have to make me not like The Rock.
Yeah, that's going to be tough.
It will be.
Okay, so I'm going to jump into this. We should have done this earlier, but yeah. You guys know we are sponsored by Loot Crate. With Loot Crate, you get collectibles, apparel, and more from your favorite pop culture franchises delivered right to your door every single month. There is a new t-shirt in every crate, figures, comics, stuff for your kitchen, a wide range of exclusive items you can't get anywhere else from fan-favorite franchises like Harry Potter, Marvel Comics, or DC Comics, Fallout 4, Star Wars, and so much more. By the way, it's really hard to say fan-favorite franchises. You can get all this. I didn't
envy you right then.
Yeah, you can get all of it, though, for $20 a month, less than $20 a month, and then we get $3 off if you go to lootcrate.com/giant-size-team-up and type in the code giant-size-team-up for our network. So, yeah, you have until the 19th at 9 p.m. Pacific to subscribe and receive that month's crate, and then that's it. You're screwed. Can't get that theme anymore. So, it is the 19th as we're recording this.
Am I remembering correctly that this month's theme went fast?
It did. So, and it's the 19th, though, so we don't get to make fun of Gone in 60 Seconds again. Go listen to last two episodes.
We'll be back for you soon, Mr. Cage.
What you guys are hearing is what's known as the evergreen messaging. So, anyway, on to television. The there were a ton of new Gotham promos that came out, but since, by the time you listen to this, you'll actually just be able to watch the first episode, so screw that noise.
Yeah, we've already joked about oh, look, my DVR is doing it right now. Right now, it's watching Lucifer and praying for better days. Right. Damn it, I said we weren't going to make fun of Lucifer anymore. At least this podcast. Well,
we've got a whole season.
Yeah, we got plenty of time.
It's gonna happen.
I know.
It's gonna happen.
I just meant could I avoid it for an hour, and I couldn't. I'm sorry. I failed.
Yeah,
I had a goal and I failed.
So a while ago, the executive producers on Gotham said that doing something like Man-Bat would be ridiculous on their show, but Randall Smith just emailed me while we were on the air. He just sent me a thing where the executive producers are talking about putting Man-Bat in the show. So they threw them into their lineup with Mr. Freeze and whatnot and Firefly. So it looks like we might be getting a Man-Bat at some point on the show.
I realize they said that, but for God's sake, why could a Man-Bat not be on that bus? What could possibly be wrong with a Kirk Langstrom?
Well, they're bringing it up now, like it's okay. So I guess we're going to get a Man-Bat.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
It's
thanks,
ridiculous. Except we have a bus full of genetic mistakes.
Yep. Cameron Monaghan teased his little Joker laugh, his return to Gotham on Instagram. Didn't care for the laugh myself. I thought it was a little forced in a couple of places. Didn't really seem genuine.
Nah, I thought he was
sometimes
trying to get back in the role a little bit. He's getting there. Yeah. He'll be good by the time he gets back. We know damn well we liked his laugh the first time, so I'm going to go ahead and have faith in him.
Look, guys, I know I'm a pissant. I'm an asshole. I know.
We all accept this.
I didn't feel it. Every once in a while, it feels like that guy is trying a little too hard, and then other times I'm just chills.
I on screen, I don't think that. Then I could feel you because it was just some it sounded like he did that with his phone. It almost sounded like on a bet. Honest to God, the narrative in my mind was he actually signed on to do this for reals and was excited enough that he went home and was still super amped up because he liked this role and had to do something on his phone and put it on the internet.
Yeah.
Had to perform just then. That was the story in my head.
The story in my head was, a publicist called him and said, "Hey man, so we really need you to be more active on Instagram. Can you give us a Joker laugh? Say hello Gotham and then laugh a lot." And he was like,
"See, in your version, he was having a shitty day."
Got off the toilet.
And he was just... Damn it.
Yeah.
Will you ever ask less of me?
So last week, we excitedly told you guys the news that Constantine was coming to Blu-ray. The TV series with Matt Ryan. Coming to Blu-ray. And then we cynically said there were going to be no special features. Well, it turns out there are going to be special features.
Oh,
they're not it's not like a huge thing. One of the discs is going to contain a trailer for the show. Constantine on the set, which I assume is a behind-the-scenes type of situation. 2014 Comic-Con panel Q&A with cast and creators. And DC Comics Night at Comic-Con 2014 presenting Gotham, The Flash, Constantine, and Arrow. These were apparently available if you bought them on certain online streaming services or bought the season on certain ones. But they're going to be on the Blu-ray. The Blu-ray is available October 4th. It is available for pre-order on Amazon right now. I've already bought my copy yesterday. $39.99, guys.
I saw that.
Do it.
Support.
Yeah, if you want more Constantine, go and do it. And by the way, I should have mentioned it earlier. Suicide Squad is a hair's breadth away from beating Iron Man 1. Go see it again. This isn't against Marvel. It's just I kind of really want it to do well.
Also, if you liked Suicide Squad, what happened when Iron Man 1 got to this point? We got the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Yeah. Because, let's face it, the Hulk wasn't going to get us there, right?
No.
But we have all this stuff now, and if you like the tone Suicide Squad took more, and people are listening apparently on the back end of these things, they're adjusting tone, they're even talking about how they're talking openly about we're gonna make some changes. Mm-hmm. Plenty of opportunities to support them, and hell, you have two options. I only suggest this because they would both work. To my knowledge, CW Seed still has Constantine available for streaming. I'm gonna check that right now, and there it is on my computer. So
hooray!
If you can afford to buy the thing, that's the vote they really want. No, this guy spent money. If you can actually afford to go buy this, and we've said over and over again, it's actually a really fun run. Hit it up. If you can, at least go stream on CW Seed. And I should spell that because someone pointed out that you can't tell what I'm saying. CWSEED. It's the thing we told you about where you can find Vixen. Those 30 minutes of Vixen that actually did tie in.
Yeah.
Numerous ways to vote. Obviously, they want you to vote with your dollar.
Sure. They like dollars.
They do like dollars. They, in all fairness, count more than not dollars.
Right.
But either way, they are paying attention right now. You can, I mean, they can downplay it all they want, but they're paying attention right now. Like, is Daniel Cerrone, am I remembering his name correctly?
Yeah, that's right.
He may not be involved, but the people that are in charge of that IP, they're involved.
Mm-hmm. Now, here's what I would suggest. Most people have a desktop computer and a laptop, or at least 2 laptops in a home, or at the very least 2 browsers on a single laptop. Go to Netflix, start running Young Justice. Go to CWC, start running Constantine, and while that shit's going on, drive out to your local theater for another encore screening of Suicide Squad.
That sounds fantastic.
Doesn't
now,
it?
CW Seed will not ask you, do you want to play the next video? You can hit play on episode 1 and you've done your part. You have voted.
Yeah.
Netflix, and they're going to ask you in a couple of hours, like, "Hey, man, you still there?" Yeah, you gotta deal with that. So once you get back from Suicide Squad, play.
Yes. Yeah, right. Anyway, moving on to Supergirl. Yeah. Andrew Kreisberg was talking about one aspect of Superman's absence in Supergirl's life, and how Alex will be feeling about all of that. He says Alex has been everything to Kara. She's her family. Alex has a little bit of a chip on her shoulder about Clark. She loves him and he's family, but he left Kara on their doorstep. Kara is so excited to see Clark, is so excited to be with him, it's almost a little bit like Alex feels taken for granted because she's the family member who's put in the time. It sets up an interesting conflict between her and Kara in the first couple of episodes. The article I got this news off of, and I should have looked at who wrote it because it was kind of awesome. It's still on our Facebook page. It was just talking about, this is the title of the article. The Superman of Supergirl is a bit of a dick, like always.
I actually saw that one around.
And it just cracked me up because Superman is always kind of a dick, but like unintentionally a dick.
He is definitely capable.
Points that out very comedically and in the article, and I highly suggest going to listen to that or going to read that. So Daichin Lockman, you would know, if you watch any Marvel TV shows, especially Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
You'll get there. I believe in you.
It's hard. It's hard, Jason.
What?
She was Sky's mother on S.H.I.E.L.D. I'll just call it S.H.I.E.L.D. And it looks like she will probably, I say, be playing Roulette. They have pictures of her wearing a red dress with a high slit up the leg, revealing a snake tattoo. So, I mean, Roulette in the comics took down the entire Justice Society, so she doesn't have any powers. She has the ability to calculate odds.
Kind of a domino.
Yeah, well, a little bit, but yeah. Anyway.
I'm trying to find a picture of her. Just had a thought. Yeah, Dollhouse. I was making sure I was remembering the right person, but Dollhouse.
Oh, yeah. What was it? Sierra? Was that her name on Dollhouse? It was
Sierra.
That was a good show.
That was a good show.
Over to The Flash. Kevin Smith accidentally leaked his season 3 episode's title. He posted a picture of the script and put a pin over the title of the episode, not realizing that you could see the title of the episode leaked through from the other page. So that episode's title is Killer Frost.
Yay!
Sorry, Smitty.
Yeah.
Did you watch the Arrow Season 5 promo, Can't Be Stopped? There was, it's very similar to a couple of the other promos that have come out, but we got
the same footage
of Ragman.
Plus some extra stuff. Wait, I missed the footage of Ragman in there.
Yeah, he's with the group. He's with Wild Dog and Artemis.
Oh my. All right.
You see him throwing a dude up against the wall there. The confusing thing is he looks surprisingly and ridiculously like this Prometheus character, this Dark Archer type character we've got here in the new season. So like sometimes it's hard to tell, which one you're looking at. And the difference, I think, is a cape and lack of quiver. Like, Ragman looks a lot like this Prometheus guy.
Gotcha.
I'm like very nearly in prayer over whether or not they're going to have him be supernatural, because Ragman is supernatural. You can't just make him
in
not
essence,
supernatural.
yeah, absolutely. That's what you're supposed to be getting.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, okay.
So anyway.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I have located him.
Ragman located.
Yeah, I get it. But Ragman aside, which I'm super excited about, just in general, because I have high hopes for it.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of the promo looked pretty great. Like, this is it seemed like that this is what people have been asking about since season 2 ended, or well, since season 3 ended, and they realized it wasn't going to be season 2 again.
Yeah.
They want street fights, and at this point, I do too.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, there's a lot of 4 and 5 I liked. Good amount of 3 I liked, but this looked gritty.
I just want Arrow to make sense
in the right
again.
way. Yeah, making sense would be a good start, and taking magic and nuclear bombs out of the equation would be
Right. Hey, you know what? I don't have a problem with magic. The magic needs to be defined.
Defined magic.
Well defined.
Yeah. And I know it's magic, and we just said define it, and that sounds stupid.
Counterintuitive.
I get it.
Yeah, it does.
But you still have to, no matter how bizarre the premise is, it still has to have parameters. It just does.
It's like in Buffy when Spike finds out they brought Buffy back from the dead, and he storms out saying, "Magic always has a cost."
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
or in
we saw
every
that
episode of Constantine, where he walks out saying, "Magic has a cost."
Let's face it. Spike and Constantine are basically the same character.
They are, and maybe that's why we loved him so much.
Yes,
when we saw him.
I want to team up. I don't care if it's canon.
I loved Matt Ryan, but now that you mentioned it, James Marsters would have made a fine Constantine.
Right? Actually, he's age appropriate for that role now.
He actually is.
Do you hear him? Do you hear me, Warner Brothers?
Yeah. Hit it up.
We can have our cake and eat it too.
Uh-huh.
James Marsters.
Benicio.
Anyway.
When they eventually sign you back, remember us. They know you're the man for that.
I have high hopes for Arrow. I know it's just going to be Arrow again, but I really hope they fix it. Because it's broken. It is.
The thing, I can agree with that wholeheartedly, but the thing is, everyone agrees on that, but no one agrees on how it's broken. Everyone agrees that it wasn't the thing that they were promised in like season 1 and then through most of season 2. But I think some of what they're going for now might be just based on a few seconds of trailer. It's a good guess about how to maybe make everyone a little bit happier.
I mean, the only thing we're all sure of is that we were promised it would be good, and that was a promise broken.
Well, but season 1, everyone agrees on. Everyone.
No, they don't. They don't. Like, a lot of people think that season 1 was slow going, and season 2 was what upped the ante. I know. I do too.
I shouldn't have said everyone. That was a poor choice of words in any context. But most people agree that season 1 kind of moved, and that was what was cool about it. It like by episode 4 or 5, he was arrested for being the vigilante. By Lance of all people. The show went places, and the island was fascinating. Like you really wanted to know everything about what happened on the island. The flashbacks were really well done. Absolutely engaging. Like, if there was an episode where there wasn't enough flashback, you were pissed about it. But that was the point where we were all pissed about there not being enough or more show, and instead of pissed that they focused too much on a negative that we didn't like, or just changed. And maybe this take on it, and it's different types of promises than we were given last year. Maybe this is a lot of street fighting, a lot of training.
See, the street fighting always bored me.
Well, but
I don't know.
The street fighting, as far as like action shots, has always been just fine. Nothing wrong with it. But
yeah, I'm bored by action a lot of the time.
I know. You want to get to what did it, but the fun part about what did it is street fighting. When Arrow's done it correctly, there's a good reason people are fighting in the streets.
Right.
So that's what I'm hopeful about.
Sure.
Is the motivations will change to more terrestrial causes, I guess.
Still really enjoying, based on this trailer, though. Still really enjoying Curtis.
Oh, absolutely. What do you tell him? Like, you're the farthest from ready of anybody. I'm an Olympian. Couple of gold medals.
You're gonna need more than that.
You're gonna need more than a few gold medals. Well, they were bronze. He makes a good point, though. I've literally competed for the United States before. Mm-hmm. But okay, you go trust this dude and that guy.
Yeah, it's fun. So, Manu Bennett responded to Joe Manganiello being cast as Deathstroke. He put up a tweet saying, if he's going to be Deathstroke, I'm going to be Magic Mike, and linked to a gif of him dancing.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun.
Yep. That was hilarious.
I enjoyed it. Over at Legends of Tomorrow.
What confused me, though, was the Twitter battle, and I just scrolled down like one link and one thing. Mm-hmm. There's a Twitter battle with a bunch of people putting up images of his costume and the other guy's costume and saying, like, you'll never be Deathstroke. Like, he designed this damn costume himself. Mm-hmm. Come on, man. Come on. Dude did a fine job. I understand that his costume did not have, like... I like the new costume more. I do, but damn. Harsh.
Yeah. People are pissy, man.
Yeah.
I did laugh. Someone did like a picture of Deathstroke from the new movie, mm-hmm. and then one from his and on arrow, and it says up top, it says, what you buy on Amazon, what comes in the mail.
Touche.
It was funny. Over to Deathstroke. Looks like Flash. We might be getting some Flash on Legends of Tomorrow. Grant Gustin tweeted out, today I did some ADR for Flash, Legends, and what looks like a very funny film I got to be in, helmed by the one and only William H. Macy. Keep us updated on that, buddy, guys. Mm-hmm. I'll watch that. Mm-hmm. I like William H. Macy.
Yeah.
But, yeah, Legends. It's awesome. And I do like that Grant Gustin is, like, branching out. I see him talking a lot about being in films and stuff. That's cool.
Yeah, I don't think he wants to get stuck. I mean, nobody wants to be,
I don't know.
What could The Flash do? Season 7? It's going to be one of those... I say that, but Supernatural's on season, like, 48 or something.
Yeah, right.
Maybe on CW things move differently, but, your average TV show doesn't go past, like, 5 to 7-ish.
Yeah.
He didn't want to be one of those guys who's remembered as The Flash, and that's it. I get it. And I'm rooting for him.
Yeah, I mean, who wouldn't want to be remembered as the Flash? But I get it.
Okay, yeah, but only remembered as the Flash.
I know. So we actually have a fair amount of Krypton news. And it's really just an interview that director Colin McCarthy did with Dave Kerr over at The Courier. Colin McCarthy he's directed Peaky Blinders, The Girl with All the Gifts, Sherlock, and Doctor Who. I pulled out specifically the stuff about Krypton. Dave Kerr asks, speaking of world building, tell us more about the new origin story of Superman's home planet you're developing. Mm-hmm. How is the scope of that sinking in? Colm McCarthy says it's really big. There's a lot of visual effects to think about, but it's quite a lot of fun when you're playing with a world that on the one hand is sort of familiar to people because everyone has a relationship with Superman, either with Man of Steel, the recent film that Goyer wrote, or with Donner's Superman films of the 70s and 80s, which are the ones that I grew up with. So they have an idea, and Krypton is very much a known name. But what Krypton is as a planet means very different things to different people. Our job with DC is to work with the representations in the comics first. They're presented in a really diverse array of ways, which is exciting because it means that creatively the world building was very much an open assignment. Dave Kerr asks, what sort of story do you want to tell? He says, we've been thinking about every aspect of Kryptonian life. How did these people how did these people eat? What do they work as? How do they dress? What's the environment of the city? I can't say too much about it, but I think it will be a really exciting and unique journey for people. It's a really corny Hollywood thing, but I remember hearing somebody say, your job as a storyteller is to take people somewhere they've never been before and show them something they already know. I think there's an element of truth in that. People like to go and have an experience where they're investigating a surprising, different world, yet the human experience resonates. I think that's at the heart of storytelling. Dave Kerr says, you've been scouting for locations and we've caught you in the middle of casting. What more can you tell us? He says, mostly we've got giant sets and then there's a lot of special effects work. The world will be created with photographic elements, but it's going to be a completely bespoke universe. Mind-alteringly different from anything people have seen before on television. It's a lot of fun. The pilot is double the budget of the film I just made for 40 minutes of TV. It's all just applying the same approach of what do you want to say? What's the world like? How do you make the thing feel real and also feel epic? Whether you're doing Peaky Blinders, The Girl with All the Gifts, or Krypton, it's all the same basic principle. This is the most interested I have been in Krypton so far.
I completely
agree.
Hearing
this guy talk. Like, it actually made me excited.
I agree that is a cliche, the like new place, show them something relatable kind of deal. But that's a really good starting point, frankly.
Mm-hmm. And Peaky Blinders has really good reviews. I know that. Like,
yeah.
I've seen his work on Sherlock and Doctor Who. Yeah. I know it's good.
Yeah. I haven't actually watched it, but yeah, I hear wonderful things.
Mm-hmm. So, over to animated/games is what we're going to do here. Because Batman the Animated Series, the Viewmaster VR experience is coming out. This thing is going to be $45. It is not like the big Oculus Rift setup. It's going to be like $600. It's going to be first generation Viewmaster VR. You'll be able to put your phone into it. It actually has like a headset that has like a big bat symbol on it. Nice. Looks pretty awesome. It includes exclusive access to a virtual reality experience that takes you inside Batman the Animated Series. It lets you explore the Batcave, fly the Batwing, and go on missions to take down Two-Face, the Riddler, and the Joker. It has voice work from Mark Hamill, Kevin Conroy, and Tara Strong as Batgirl. Yeah, this might be a thing I have to get.
It might be. I'm wondering if it's strange though that like the Batman VR that's been pending. We've been talking about it for a few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I am actually kind of more excited about being able to be like the animated Batman.
They're both Kevin Conroy.
Yeah, but
like Conroy and Hamill are in both.
Somehow CGI Batman, I'm super excited about it. It looks like all the little clips look cool, and I love the story about Jeff Johns just getting excited and running around. But getting to actually be the BTAS Batman might be it might be kind of a high watermark in my existence as a human.
I'll make sure they put it on your tombstone, man.
Yes, was Batman briefly during game.
Red ad that said "Be the Batman."
Right.
Became the Batman.
Responded with $45. Became Batman. That is just super exciting, though.
It is. You guys know that we love Batman on this show, man. And especially the Batman the Animated Series. Long-time listeners anyway know that. And now new listeners know that, if they've made it this far.
That's the spirit.
Hooray! So, yeah. I think I'm probably going to buy this, man. Anyway, that's all the news I've got. We don't have any new reviews this week, so I'll reiterate. Guys, if you give us a 5-star written review on iTunes, because that really helps us out and gets us up there in the rankings, you do that, it takes a few minutes, you have a chance to win a free DC trade paperback DVD or a Blu-ray valued at $15 or less. 1 in 10 will win. The winner will be randomly selected with a number generator on random.org, and it's going to be announced in one of our news episodes, of course, at the end, because we have to have you listen to the show. It's pretty simple, man. We've already done one of these giveaways, so, and we're still waiting to hear back from John Lynette. We still haven't heard from you guys, so come on.
Yeah, get around.
Anyway, that's all on that. You got anything else?
No, I'm spent.
You're spent.
Yep. DC'd up.
I'm
gonna pop out and watch Gotham.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, thank you so much for listening. You can find every episode at DCOnScreen.com. You can find a fair amount of our episodes on iTunes, because they apparently just stopped showing up. I don't know.
After
you can find us on Stitcher.
Or so, I think. I'm not sure.
Yeah. We're on iTunes, we're on Stitcher. Go subscribe, so you'll just get you'll get our shows when we upload. We're going to start putting out recaps and reviews for all the individual episodes as well, so there's a whole lot of
continue.
DC on Screen coming. Well, yeah,
it's our series premiere in a way.
Yeah. And we'll continue to do the weekly news episodes as well. So go subscribe to us on iTunes. You can find us on Facebook at Facebook.com/DC on Screen, Twitter.com/DC on Screen. Follow us there. We have lots of fun conversations with lots of fun people and some not so fun. So
yeah, that's the nature of it.
Come join our riotous debauch.
Join us and/or mock us, as you will.
We're a proud member of the Giant Size Team Up Network, GiantSizeTeamUp.com, and brand new, we are a part of the Batman Podcast Network.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. So, fun, guys. Anyway, that's it. That's all I've got. Until next week, keep some DC on your screen.
The Sonic 2 for $7 deal lets you choose from the Sonic Cheeseburger, Chicken Sandwich, or Footlong Chili Cheese Coney. Any two for $7. So you can mix and match a deliciously melty Sonic Cheeseburger and a crispy chicken sandwich with the perfect amount of pickles. Or you can pair that brioche-topped chicken sandwich with the Footlong Chili Cheese Coney you've been craving. Either way, you'll get 2 mouthwatering Sonic items for one great price. It might be the greatest pairing since cherry and limeade. Sonic 2 for $7 deal. Tax not included. See menu for details. Limited time only at participating Sonic drive-ins.